pleased with the scrimmage. You all know the situation in the spring. We got a little thin at certain positions, and it limited the full contact that we've had. So we knew heading into this camp how important it would be just to play physical, get some live reps in, and we've been practicing that way. Obviously, not live, but trying to have some really physical parts of practice throughout camp, and then today cut it loose with a full scrimmage, everything but except the quarterbacks live, and it was really good to see us out there. I think we came out of there clean. There's one that I'm concerned about. We'll see. I'll update you next week. But overall, pretty good. And we needed it. We needed it. We got a lot of snaps. I felt very good about the operation with the communication with the quarterbacks and on defense, and with being able to communicate with those guys. And in the iPads, we even used the iPads to view things. And again, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but we were one of the teams who experimented with that in the bowl game. So the coaches that were here were used to it to some extent. Some of the new offensive coaches hadn't used it that way in college. So even practiced all that and used that today. And there's some things we need to continue to work with on that end, and will. But just overall, we got a lot of work done. We needed it. Pretty clean as far as not having full live reps defensively. Really pretty clean position on the football and tackling. Offensively, again, pretty clean. I think we had one that I could remember, maybe one pre-snap penalty, and the ball was on the ground just once late in the scrimmage, and the same person recovered it. So just the basics, we made the routine look routine, what we're looking for, and just got a lot of work done. So overall, just pleased and ready to keep it going.
How do you feel about Brock's progress from the spring?
Yeah, I like his progress. He's just a worker. He lives it, he loves it, and is always working at it, and so it doesn't surprise us. But you like to see the full, you like to see it as close to a game-like situation as you can, and it was good. It was a good operation.
And Brock and JJ will be our two players today.
Is there an area right now that you want to focus on and say we got to get better here?
I mean, you know I'm going to say all. So you probably know my answer before I came out. I think, clearly we have to be, more physical than we've been on the offensive side in particular. And running the ball, I think, is an area that I've seen growth. And so I feel like we're gaining some depth at the O-line position. I feel like they're playing, with the pad level we're looking for, and the physicality we're looking for, and it's a start. We're not there yet. We're too inconsistent, but I think that's an area that we definitely need to get better at, and and feel like we're growing. And protection goes right along with that, right? Just giving the quarterback some time. I really like what Coach Hamden does, and the way he calls plays, and can protect them in different ways. And so we have a lot of work to do, but I feel like it's a good start. As I told the players, we're right in the middle of it. We still have a couple of weeks of camp, and so we've got some work to do.
The first live action, how'd the special teams look out there today?
Good. Yeah, we're good. We didn't do all special teams, but we did some live field goals to get the pressure and to make sure we secure that. At times, we needed to improve in that area last year, and so we did some really physical work in there in the stadium, and had good protection. The kickers have been kicking really good. Just Alex kicked today in the stadium, and he did just okay for him. He missed a few, which is not like him, so we'll continue to work.
Talked about the one thing that you might want to work on the most. What have you been most pleased with so far in camp?
I think just the attitude of the players, the willingness to take coaching and to understand the improvement that's necessary and to come in with a good mindset each and every day. I think for the most part we've been pretty consistent in our attitude and coming in ready to work.
How do you feel about those corner options now? It's like opposite backs.
Yeah, I think Waller wasn't able to play today. He has a slight injury. Should be back early this week. Just hurt yesterday late, I think. Yesterday after practice, doing some extra work, but nothing major. But I think that's an area where we still need to grow. We got to figure that out and have some guys step up. We have options. I like the options. I feel like we have some depth and some abilities. We just got to get it out.
Mark, we haven't talked to you since the NCAA announcement last week. Just what was your reaction to the resolution?
Yeah, obviously, I really can't say much. I'm not trying to dodge it, but you're disappointed, because the people did a lot of hard work, to get to that place. And obviously, 3 years ago to now, things have changed dramatically. But still doesn't make it okay. And Mitch and Dr. Capilouto have commented on that, and the NCAA has asked me not to say anything about it. I'm not dodging it. And heck, it was 3 years ago. I'm really worried about right now. You know what I mean? And but we, work tirelessly to educate our kids and make sure they're doing things right. And have worked really hard. We're far from perfect, but we work at it. And we try to do the best we can. And I know the compliance in general at this university is very diligent, and so we work at it, and we're not perfect, and certainly in today's world we wouldn't be having these conversations. You could just flat give them to them. So, no, I shouldn't say that. You got to send a tweet, get $1 million, but if you call that one. So, a little different.
You mentioned the physicality a minute ago. What have you seen from the running backs now that you can see them live? It was a little hard to tell.
Yeah, it's still, that's a position again. We got to continue, to look at it and do it by committee. We'll see. I have confidence in that group, but I don't think any of them are just popping off the chart at you right now.
What about your pass rush? What have you seen from it?
I was pleased. I thought they did a really good job. Trayvon wasn't out there today, and so again limited us a little bit with some depth. But I feel really good. If you look at our defense, you look at some of those guys. A lot of them played some snaps, and so we feel really good with that. But then we have some really young guys. So it was kind of drastic. One way or the other. The older guys, frontline guys, have seen a lot of football, played a lot of football, are very physical, and did a good job with pass rush. But we got to make sure we continue to develop guys.
Okay. You got any of the guys that redshirted that have shown like a significant growth from the spring and now into this camp and started to push?
Yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I don't think anybody, right off the top of my head jumps out at me, and I'll let you know. But I can't think of anybody that just. I like our young guys in general. I like our young players. That's why it's important to go in there and be as game-like as possible, just to see all the actions, right? You move in, you mix in the boots and the play action and the runs and live tackling and see what guys rise a little bit. And so I think we'll continue to see that as camp goes on. But I like our young players. They do need a lot of these reps.
Kind of backing it back up to the pass rush. It seems like JJ's kind of flown under the radar some in camp. What have you seen from him, and just how much of an impact can he have this year?
Yeah, I think it's important we need it, and I've seen that out of him. I've seen him working really hard. He showed up today, I think you're going to see a guy that, plays with the consistency that you would expect from a guy that's been around for a while, and the talent that he has. So I like what I'm seeing there.
seemed like from a couple of people that watched, there was some buzz about your punter today. Has that made an impact already? You've seen it?
Yeah, I think, we, again, consistency, you know, even the last time we played in the bowl game, the inconsistency of the kickoffs, we were pretty strong there all year, and the kickoffs hurt us, I feel like we have some guys this year that we didn't do kickoff today, but we did it yesterday, and I like the legs we have, and I think in punting, we gotta make sure we get more consistent there as well, because, when you talk about special teams, Coach Boulware does a phenomenal job, and our players really have done a good job. When big plays happen like that, usually it comes down to a bad kick, and I mean, heck, Barry on, he's the only, I think he's, I think they told me a stat, he was the 17th in the history of college football with return yardage last year. I mean, that's pretty impressive, and so, we do some good things, but, to be more consistent, we do have to have good kicks. So we got some guys that can cover and work at it, but, they have some special guys we play against too, that can make people miss, so.
Hey, folks, thank you very much.